Okay, the latest update for the ratings calculator has a few improvements. One of the major one is what we're calling the ticker. So here it is here on the right hand side. You can put it wherever you like, but for this video we're just putting it here. So if you want to go to the next Sandown race, you can double click on that and that'll take you to the next race, which doesn't look like a race you'd want to be betting on, but you can then go to the next race. You can see what's coming up. So if you run your mouse over it, Eagle Farm, Murray Bridge and so on, and it makes it fairly easy for you to go from one meeting to another rather than using this drop down option, which still of course works, and you can select any of the races as before. So that's one of the improvements. Now the ticker has an off on top. So for example, you may not want to have this on top of everything for whatever reason. So if you click off on top, then it's hidden behind everything else. You can then just simply click on it again and check that checkbox off and it'll stay on top. So when you're working on something important, you may not want to have that thing sitting on the top of your computer. On the other hand though, you may like to have that there if you're trying to keep track of which races are coming up. So that's one improvement to the latest version. Looking at another race 3 at Warwick Farm on the same day, won by Yarrawonga. Under race information, if you go down to jockeys, this table shows you all the horses that the various jockeys have ridden on previously. So for example, who rode Yarrawonga? Tim Clark. So Tim Clark has only ridden Yarrawonga, so we can't use him as a great example, but Tommy Berry, for example, is on Sudavama and he's ridden 3 horses before. So you could argue out of those 3 he prefers Sudavama, for example. That may be of some use to you. You can also switch, so it can then show you the horse and then it'll show you the riders that have been on it. Either way, it's quite useful. Now down the bottom it's got important. So in here you'll find that there number 3, Jason Collett, has been replaced by Beanie, and Jason Collett is now riding Oakfield Wallaby. He ran 4th. Sudavama has been replaced by Tommy Berry, and Alicia Collett has gone on Moosha Boulevard now, and in this case they ran 2nd and 3rd, so they both ran well. So it's hard to say the significance of the important, but what the important shows is riders that have ridden in the race before and they've been replaced, but they're still riding in the race again. So in this case, Jason Collett's been replaced and he's also riding again a different horse in the race at least. So Alicia Collett at the same meeting. So depending on which one's your favourite jockey or however you're following it, you can see where the jockey changes can be important in a particular race. The next section down shows the same jockey, so same jockey on Oakfield Wallaby and different jockeys. Again, the significance of that may be important to you, may not be. Again, it's one of the features in the program that you can use. Whether it's of any use to you or not, well, that's up to you, but you might find in here the important thing is quite useful in that you see the changes with the jockeys that are riding in the race or have ridden in there before.